The next step we're going to do is to round over the handle. You can see on these two, this one's got a nice rounded over look. This one's squared off. To do that, we're going to use this little handheld router. So this little thing here has installed on it a roundover bit. So the bearing follows the surface of the wood, and that roundover part, that radius, will cut the rounded part, the roundy bits. We're going to do that on the outside and on the inside right here. Now the tricky bit is the inside, because you actually have to start the router while it's spinning, drop it into the hole, and then let that bearing ride around the inside of that hole, both in the front. And again, we're going to start the router, pivot it in there, and route that hole. Of course, we're not going to hold it in our hands. We're going to clamp it to the bench top to make those cuts. So I'm going to hang it off the bench top. Okay, so we're going to do what we can, flip it around, do what we can, flip it around, keep going. So safety glasses on, router here, and we're going to turn it on. Here's the on button right there. Boom, boom. Okay, there we go. That's all I can get with the current clamp situation. So if you're working with a bunch of people around the workbench, it's nice to have your project ready to go, so when someone's done with the router, you can just kind of move around and the next person who is ready gets to go. So that's kind of what we're looking like right there. Continuing around. You notice that when I was doing the inside of the hole, I crouched down to see the project better, so you can get a better feel for what you're doing. In addition to that, when you are routing, keep that base nice and flat against that workpiece. A lot of people will have a tendency to tilt like this or tilt like that. Nice and flat is where you want to be. All right, so now we're going to rotate this around, rotate that around, and then we're going to continue on, get the rest of that handle, and then there we are. I do have some burn marks right there. It's, unless I had a brand new bit, it's gonna happen. We'll have to sand that out later. But the less you stop, the less burn marks you're gonna have. So try not to stop if you can, but whatever, it'll happen. Okay, that's routing.